The cycle of that we've seen the Electoral Commission go through ever since the promulgation of the 2010 Constitution, with the first election in 2013, which was, which was contested at the Supreme Court, and we saw the political class, one side of it, bundle the then chairperson, Isaac Hassan, out of office, to bring in Wafula Chebukati, was seen as the reform to that commission. And now we have been seeing this from 2017. Again, it was contested. It was nullified by the Supreme Court. We're seeing this in 2022. Is this process taking us to the right, in the right direction from where you sit?
Absolutely. I think that we must face our problems squarely in the face, and we must deal with issues as they arise. I am very disturbed by my good friend Joy and my student in the studio. I mean, my learned colleague there. I mean, the point is this: a wrong is a wrong. A right is a right. Anybody is free to complain. Do not vilify politicians for crying out about elections. That is their right. And from a constitutional legal perspective, you cannot vilify somebody for seeking justice. Let us give them that room. Just like we cannot vilify Chebukati for going to court or IEBC for going to clean their names. That's their business to do so. However, we are saying there is a problem, and it plays out. We saw what happens to the interim IEBC. We saw what played out in 2017. For the first time, elections were nullified. We saw how Chebukati acted with the Chiloba. We saw what happened. We saw the commissioners that resigned. And we should not be surprised to see that these other four commissioners are actually also having problems with Chebukati. There is something inherently wrong with the character and the personality and the performance of Chebukati. Right. He is not my hero. He shouldn't be a Kenyan hero.
On that, Martin, we have to wait to see what the court, rules on Monday, whether anybody or who, if anybody, is.
Just allow me. My teacher wants to run away with murder. I have an issue with people who praise soup but have an issue with meat. How do you get the soup? You cannot say you have one. We said Chesoni was wrong. We said Kivuitu was wrong. We said Isakasan was wrong. We are saying Chebukati is wrong. Who then is right? Ben, at the end of the day, are we saying we want to invite Angel Gabriel and those others to come and preside over elections? I think we need to have a retrospection as Kenyans and think about where we are going as a people, because at the end of the day, what is the purpose of elections, Ben? Elections is for Kenyans to come and express their will. It should be as simple as that. And when you read Article 1, when you read Article 88, you go to Article 138 and you read Article 140. Some of these things are as simple as ABCD. Why do we want to convolute them? Chebukati was not in my polling station in Tebesonik Primary School. Why will people blame Chebukati there? And the results that were announced in Form 34A in Tebesonik Primary is what is at the portal, and it is what was brought to Bomas by my returning officer in Tarbo constituency. That it is that simple. Any other thing outside these, right, I think we are just dancing too much to the song.
Solutions. Daisy, where does the solution lie to this perennial issues that look like an assault on an independent constitution? People are divided. The country is divided right down the middle about it. What is the solution?
I will mention one solution because I'm sure there are multiple. One remedy would be to hold individuals culpable. We must move away from the veil of incorporation, from IEBC as an amorphous commission that is under accusation, and now move into culpability. In 2017, a whole election was nullified, but nobody was held accountable for that nullification. And I think what will happen if we hold individuals accountable is that there will be deterrence. is that people will not hide behind institutions, hide behind positions, hide behind commissions. So I think one of the things that could possibly come out of this petition is that not only will it be corrective in terms of pointing out what the irregularities are and then course correcting. Course correcting like we did in 2013, for instance, where spoils votes were not incorporated into the final tally and so on and so forth. But in addition to being corrective, this petition should also be punitive. And that being punitive is holding individuals accountable.
All right. Joy? Okay. What's the solution to what you think is ailing the commission?
One thing I think we got right is that we gave IEBC Commissioner security of tenure. And what the security of tenure does, it puts them at par with other people who do such high-risk jobs, for example, judges and other chairmen of other constitutional commissions, that you're able to do your work without the fear of wanton reprimand for whatever reason. The Elections Act in Kenya actually places personal responsibility, not just on the chairman, but on anyone who works for the IEBC who does something to subvert the elections. So already, the law envisages a situation where if Ben does something deliberate in his role as an IEBC officer, even if you are a policeman at a polling station and you commit an electoral offense, you can face charges. But like I said earlier, the problem we have with the IEBC is our political hygiene. I think one of the important things that we need to do is move away from the politicians being the ones responsible for nominating who sits on the IEBC. Because they send people there imagining that they're going to be their agents of change or their get-out-of-jail-free card when the rubber meets the road. And so when somebody doesn't play ball, they shout the loudest. So for example, when Chebukati was brought in, we hounded out Isaac Hassan. Chebukati came in and was one of Raila Odinga's strongest supporters, and he was seen as somebody who will take care of Raila's interests. When he got in there and as a senior lawyer understood his constitutional mandate and stood his ground as chairman and now not as a political party operative, the next day he became a villain and has carried that cross until now like an albatross. If we get the politicians out of the process of nominating and appointing who becomes an IEBC commissioner, and their role only comes in as parliament in vetting who ascends to the office, I think if we're getting people who are not in the political party system, have not been party operatives, are not anybody's former this or that, but are Kenyans willing to serve, then even the caliber of people you attract to those jobs are people who are willing to serve. I think that's like bottom line, because politicians have shown that they cannot be trusted to make selections and not keep dipping their finger back in the cookie jar, imagining that there's still something left in there for them. So for me, that would be first port of call.